Hello everybody, welcome to W.K.R.H 12 Productions. I'm Keith, giving you more custom builds of 2021. We're going in by make and model and trying to organize them by make and model of each one, and we're trying to get all the custom builds videos done and trying to get edited and brought to you before the end of the year and everything else. And we're down the home stretch now. We have the Ford Police Interceptor Sedan vehicles to show you, and we have a few. So let's get right to it. This is the Newberry, South Carolina Police, and actually this was made as a commission build a few years ago. Yeah, a few years ago. And when you know it, the same person that asked for a different commission wanted the same one, wanted a similar one, and the same guy that wanted to build wanted it exactly like it is now, but it wanted supervisor on the side. That was it. So he got promoted to supervisor, and now he's a sergeant for the Newberry Police Department. Congratulations, outstanding job. And we did a build for him from the previous police department, from his previous police vehicle that we gave him when he first, right after he joined the department. And now we have this one kind of as a wedding present slash promotional present. So he's had a tremendous year this year, a very good year this year. Been promoted, became supervisor for his department, and promoted to sergeant, became a supervisor for his department, and really just getting married all in the same year. So tremendous job. So this card doesn't really do him any justice, but we do it anyway. Like I said, we didn't put supervisor. This was already done, and we did a previous one. We put supervisor on that one. We didn't put supervisor on this one, but this is the vehicle. But we wanted to give you a general idea of this vehicle here, which one we did for him, and it looks just like that, with the exception of the supervisor on the side. But did a great job, did a good detail on this. And we did the Newberry Police July 2021. We did about 3 of them, giving one to him and with the supervisor on it, and keeping 2 for ourselves to add to the fleet of 1 that we did. Usually, like I said, when we do commission builds, we try to do 2 vehicles, and we give the customer the best one. That's how we're doing it. Everybody else does it differently and everything else, but that's how we've been doing it. And they will put decals on it, unit number, and just for inventory purposes. But did a great job for the back, for that vehicle. And it was, one of our. I think that's the only commission vehicle that we did for the Police Interceptor Sedan. Another build that we did in January, of this year, very early, but it was one of the first ones that came up that we done and customized for the start of the new year, for the start of 2021. The Wisconsin State Patrol. It had they had a previous design which was a blue and white version, and it was a Ford Police Interceptor Sedan model. We made the decals for both the Newberry Police and the Wisconsin State Patrol. Did that, got some chevrons done, spruced it up a little bit. It was already blue, and we just kind of repainted the doors white, and touched it up with the blue. And touched it up with the tinting the grill and putting blue and chrome lights on the push bar. That's all we did. And then put decals on. That's all we did. Pretty much all we did. But we spruced it up. This used to be a match. This is a Matchbox version of the vehicle, and most of the builds that all the builds that we've done this year for the Police Interceptor Sedans was for the Matchbox vehicle. Was for Matchbox. Came from Matchbox, to be honest with you. And all of it was done this year. But a spiffy model, nonetheless, that we was able to show you. And everything else. Now we made this in like I said, at the start of the year, and we made a fleet of 5 vehicles for this, because we had 5 vehicles. This was another department. It was a Matchbox department, a police department, and we just revamped this, restructured it to be a Wisconsin State Patrol vehicle, and we made a fleet of 5. Tinted the windows as well. Did a fantastic job with this build. It took a while, because the paint scheme, we had to paint and we had to pick and choose our spots to paint, but at the same time we get unseasonably warm weather in December and January, and we get cold weather in February and March. So extreme cold weather in February and March. But that's how this weather is in South Carolina, but can't explain that to you enough. The next one we're doing is the Illinois State Police. Now, this is a Matchbox vehicle, of course, and when we bought this already had the Illinois State Police tampons on it. So all we did, and it is a pretty good design. We left the design, and we touched up everywhere else. It didn't have a lot of detail on the front and the back, and we provided the details on the front and the back. Put it, the detailed lights on the push bar, detailed lights on the headlights and the front, and colored and tinted the front end. Painted the oval blue. We colored the mirrors. Did the mirror covers. Painted that black to go along with that. We tinted the windows a little bit on this one, and did the back. We kit bashed the back with the state police on the back, on the back of it. Excuse me. See, put it on the back, and really framed up and detailed the back lights. So it looks, so it gets that pop in presentation that you're looking for. Illinois State Police. We had a pair of these when we bought them, and we redetailed and revamped the front and the back, and we redetailed the front and the back of this vehicle, and it took us a while to get it done, and then when we touched it up, but when we did all this and completed it in this month, December of 2021, and we just redetailed it, just redetailed the front and the back and all that, and just try to make it a little bit better, because we look at it now, it was off, and it wasn't awful, but it was just off. And we decided to put a little bit more work into it, and it got it done. So we had a set we had a pair, we had a set of 2, and then we had one set, and then we put both of them, detailed both of them together. It looks very, very good. We're going to be making more Illinois State Police vehicles as they become available, as we go into 2022, and go from there. The Connecticut State Police is next on our list. Trust me, it does say Connecticut State Police in some form or fashion. But if you live in Connecticut or know about the Connecticut State Police, their vehicles are mostly blank cars, metallic, with a metallic approach to it. Yeah, it will have state police and license plates and stuff, and license plate will have the red license plate says state police on the front, on the back, or the back, or in some place where it's recognizable. Sometimes you see it on the top of the light bar, there itself, where it says State Police on all its glory. It'll probably have a light flash in State Police, but it will be, if it does, it will be on these vehicles, the Interceptor sedan vehicles. This is a Matchbox version, and what we did was just just detailed the heck out of it, since we don't use since decals wasn't necessary for this vehicle. And this is one of those simple builds, once again, where you can make and almost put yourself in a position where you can make a fleet of police vehicles that need very little or no decals, and you just detail them to your to your best specifications. Put it at an angle so you can see it from a certain angle, and just has that realistic look to it. And was able to put it all together and provide a professional vehicle with a lot of pop, a lot of presentation to it, attention to detail. That's what we're shooting for at this point in time, and it worked out tremendously well. Loved everything about it. We did this Connecticut State Police in June of this year, and we added it to the fleet that's already there. We have a fleet of 4. We added 2 vehicles to it in June. We added 2 Connecticut State Police vehicles in June to the fleet that was already there, which was already 2 other Police Interceptor sedans and a Police Interceptor utility vehicle, and all of them are Matchbox vehicles. That's the whole fleet so far for the Connecticut State Police. The Maryland State Police is next. Well done on this one. We did the decals here and detailed it. And you can see how we did the lights, detailed the lights, squared it up a little bit. Now we didn't do anything out of the ordinary. We had the lights detailed on the push bar. Really brings out a glow and a presentation to it a little bit, and just kind of did more to it along the way, all the way around. Fantastic. 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 And we did the back as well. There we go. And did the back as well. Fantastic. We did the Maryland State Police on June of this year, 2021, and it just looks downright good. We added it to the fleet that already had police Tahoes, and I don't know if it had a Police Interceptor utility, but we need to make one if we don't have one. But we definitely have definitely has a couple of Tahoes and stuff, and we made the decals for this one, for this particular unit, and it looks exquisite, and no doubt. I can't tell which ones are better builds of the Police Interceptor sedans, but let me add this one before you start debating yourself. This is the South Carolina Highway Patrol, and this is the last one of our fleet, last one of the builds that we've done for this fleet of Police Interceptor sedans. But we did this one, and man, it looks fantastic. As you could tell, we told you in earlier videos that we refurbished just about the entire fleet of the South Carolina Highway Patrol. We did an entire fleet of them. We redid the decals on the side, made it wider. However, this is our first time putting it on a Police Interceptor sedan, so it looks real good here. It's got a good presentation. Colored mirrors, the mirror covers. We colored that. We painted that. We didn't color it. We painted it. Did great detail on the front. Give you a little bit of Detailed the push bar with the lights, light details to the push bar. Did the windows, we tinted that. The headlights, and you can see the decals we put over the door handles on this one. Kind of put it over the door handles, and when we put the micro sole, we use the micro set for the entire decal. But once we laid it on there and got it in the position we wanted to, we put the micro sole over the part of the decal that was going to be draped over the door handles, to drape it over the door handles so it can hug comfortably around the decal, and therefore it looks very realistic to what you see on the Ford Interceptor Sedans fleet of the South Carolina Highway Patrol. And you'll see their decals, they're draped over the handles as well, but the microsole hugs around it, so you didn't see any wrinkles around the handles, and that's what we was going for. We was going for a smooth, realistic look in installing. Once we installed these decals, and we had to work around the door handles. Did a fantastic job with that, and it did a fantastic job on how we worked it out. We don't use microsole on the entire decal. We just used it on certain areas that we know is going to be that's going to give us problems staying on there over the actual decal. It's over the actual part of that vehicle. If it's going to be the door handles, yeah, it's great. We're going to have to adjust accordingly for that. If it goes around the wheel well, then we'll dab microsole on that. But we'll just dab it right over the door handles there. And here, we did the back tremendously well. Great job. We framed the tail lights and stuff, and detailed that as best as possible, and put the decal on there, State Trooper decal. The decal is one piece on the side and one piece in the back, but still an effective presentation that we wanted to give it about the South Carolina Highway Patrol. The South Carolina Highway Patrol, we had a set of two. We had two vehicles. Both of them was done this month in December of 2021, and so they're very, very recent, and they're added to the fleet of the already expansive fleet that we have for the South Carolina Highway Patrol now. And this has really been a very, very good project to do, and this is probably one of my better builds. And I'm not just saying that because I live in the state, but I just say that because of how everything just functioned well and flowed well within the project to where it's at now, to the finished product that you see here. It's been fantastic, and just made a fantastic build, and it was just tremendously fun to do. And it's fun to do when you're starting to get the hang of it, and you build and you're doing good. But you go with the simple builds like the Connecticut State Police, which has very few and no decals on it, and in order to get yourself started and to establish your addiction on these vehicles. Yeah, I said it, addiction. That's our addiction is trying to make it as realistic as possible with the vehicles of this size, of 164, 187 scale, and that's what we're showing you here. Thank you for watching the custom builds of 2021. We'll continue with more videos to come, because there's still a few more to add to a few more that's on the list that we got to add here. But man, thank you for watching. It's been a good ride, and we'll continue to ride now. We'll continue to ride in later videos. It's coming up, so stay tuned. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. I'm Keith. Thank you for watching W.K.R.H 12 Productions.